Not sure really how I want to open this, so we're just gonna start like this. Dragon Ball GT, one of my favorite Dragon Ball iterations. It is heavily frowned upon. Most people don't like it. They don't like the story, don't like the concept. But the main reason people don't like it is because it's not canon. Boo, how sad. Besides that, in my opinion, it's one of the better iterations. I grew up on Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball so much, so it's gonna be biased. But I just want to kind of talk about my glorification for Dragon Ball GT, because like I grew up on it, find it amazing, and I just recently rewatched it and I was like, damn man, it's brought me back to my childhood. So let's dive right into it. Alright, how this is going to work is we're going to split up in categories, so I'm just going to break it down like this. First, we're going to start with why I personally prefer it. This is completely my opinion. Fuck you. This is my opinion. It doesn't matter. Now that sounds harsh, but it's my opinion why I like it. I know it's going to be hated. I don't care. Okay, why I like it is it has the classic Z art style. It canonically, I think it came like, I forgot when they said it was like 5 or 15 years after Z aired. Basically, it came immediately after Z aired. So it picks up with Goku wanting to train Majube to be his next, train Oob to be the next kind of defender of the Earth, and picks up after the Buu Saga. So I just like it art stylistically, because I didn't really prefer the art style of Super. It looks kind of like Play-Doh-y, and I don't know, I feel like the original art style of Z looked a lot more, let's say, how do I put it, more defined. I don't know, I liked the big bulky musculature. It looked good, you know. It's what inspired a lot of us people to get in the gym, you know, work hard, try to look like Goku, Vegeta, all our favorite Dragon Ball characters, you know the whole tea. I think the next strong point I want to speak about was the concept of the Dragon Balls being such a heavy part of the story. It's been a while in, you know, the actual Dragon Ball storyline of the Dragon Balls actually being important and not just used for miscellaneous tasks and just random wishes. Before they had like an actual purpose, as we all know, but they kind of got undermined just to do little things. And I feel like GT took a really good approach on explaining how, hey, that you need to really value them more, and there's not just some like little tool to play around with. And again, I'm not here really to explain the story and everything, but there's a video that I saw by the creator named Justin's Den. He made a really good explanation on the whole storyline of GT, honestly. I'll link it below. Really good watch. Also a video by Kumo Bear, I'll link below, explaining how GT was kind of misunderstood and it's better than Super, which we will dive into deeper more. But overall, for this first segment, I will say art style so much better than Super, and story, which we'll dive into deeper next, pretty good. And again, I really like the focus of the Dragon Balls and the importance of them. It's again a niche, but it was a good twist on Dragon Ball that I feel like kind of brought us back to the roots. And even for being non-canon, it was a nice route to see the what ifs. Alright, let's already get this out the way. And we all know it's gonna come because I said it was why I prefer the series. Fucking nostalgia. We can all bitch and moan about it, but when it comes to people's favorite, it's usually because of nostalgia. Nostalgia plays a heavy role in GT being a core memory in my brain and why I like it the best. I don't know if you guys, you know, kind of grew up in the same time scale, but hey, you know, back in my day, well, let me stop playing. Back in the day, it came on Nicktoons actually, which is where I first saw and watched it. And they played a different opening. When I tell you that opening was a banger, that opening was gas. I thought that was like the original opening. No, the original opening, still pretty good. But that GT opening though, ooh, oh my goodness, that was cooked. They cooked. It sounds kind of goofy now, I'm not gonna lie, but for nostalgia reasons, that shit was fire, dog. Like, oh my, it got me turned every time. Dragon Ball GT. Like, oh my god, it got me turned every single time, every time. So, I mean, that was great. Growing up as a kid, seeing that, like, as legit, I felt like I was about to go Super Saiyan right there on the couch, bro. It was crazy. It was amazing. And the fact that it was just so easily accessible on Nicktoons, bro, it was great. I grew up on all those kind of like channels and stuff, so seeing that there was my first time seeing it, and they had me stuck. And the next part about it that really grew it for me on the nostalgia part is the growing up on it and waiting for more episodes to show. Yeah, you just remember those days of waking up early on like a Saturday morning or like a Friday morning, just waiting to see the new episode come out. You get like, maybe I'd say like 2 or 3 episodes. It obviously wasn't new, but new for the channel. You get 2 to 3 new episodes. That was amazing. I love that. That made me so happy, and it's more satisfying seeing something released like that, especially like when I was younger. I don't know, it was just something that I liked. This section really is not going to be too long. Again, it's just my personal nostalgia. We just had to get out of the way because obviously nostalgia is going to play a big part in a lot of people's preferences. So I mean, fuck you if you don't really care. It's to me. That Nicktoons opening now, banger. I will not take any hate on that. Alright, since we're past that category now we're on to a more serious category, which is going to be the pros and the cons. This will be a little bit different. I'm not going to be just listing like, oh, this was great about it, this was bad about it. I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to go through each of the like 4 technically arcs and kind of give my ranking, give a little synopsis. It's not going to be a perfect synopsis because that's not what this is for, and I'm not good at retelling things. So I'll have visuals to match along with it, but I'll loosely say it because I do not have a script written about summaries of these, so I'm just going to tell it off kind of memory. So first, we have the Dragon Ball Collection arc. We see Goku with Oob training. We see Pilaf. Pilaf turns Goku into a child, and now they have to get the Black Star Dragon Balls, but they're, instead of like scattered around the Earth, they're scattered across the universe. It was supposed to be Trunks and Goten going with Goku, but Pan hopped on the ship. So we had Pan, Trunks, and Goku. Banger crew. I loved all of them. They're pretty good. The journey was pretty good. I will say though, there was a couple decisions and a couple questionable things and questionable people and actions taken during this arc. But for the most part, I liked the fights in the arc. There were some like boring bits and whatnot. As a kid, I think I liked it a lot more because of that natural Dragon Ball journey and adventure. Watching it now, I'm not gonna lie, I was camo grinding while I was rewatching that bit. I didn't really care for it too much just because I knew the cool stuff that was to come, so I was kind of just like trying to get past it. But overall, it was pretty good. Gave good vibes from back then. Not done perfectly, of course, but gave that nostalgic Dragon Ball hunt while now exploring the universe a little bit more, which I thought was a good twist on it and pretty unique. Do I like Goku being a child or not? It's okay. Do I think Pan and Trunks get enough like screen time or I guess time to shine? That's questionable as well. Overall though, I think it's a pretty solid start to GT and kind of letting you open to the universe and again getting you in that Dragon Ball feel and good little throwback. Hey, let me not forget though, W my go gear. But overall, I'd give this arc maybe like a cool 7. On my scale, that's not that bad. It's pretty solid. Again, I really like the journey and adventure. And again, I preface you, I'm not here to tell you the whole story. Either watch the video I'm going to leak by Justin Den, or go watch the series yourself. Trust me, I preface this. Alright, so here is the heater. Here is the one that really kind of drove me into GT like heavily as a kid, especially as a kid. Now I really liked it too, rewatching it, but it drove me as a kid. This is what really got me. And this part kind of like scared me a little bit, not gonna lie. We have the baby arc. The baby arc. This was gas. Now, I'm not gonna say this was a perfect arc, but it was gas. So basically, we have a lookalike Dr. Gero on this planet. Forgot the planet name, but he's creating this crazy organism. Gero and Trunks find out. They try to stop it and kill it early. Well, guess what? They didn't kill it early, and it's like a parasite. So it infects this child. They go save this child. Blah blah blah. We now have a new villain. Comes to Earth, infects Goten, gets Gohan. goes all the way around the circle until it now ends up in Vegeta. And we see Vegeta get taken over by this parasite, which is called Baby, who is a Tuffle, and we've seen the Tuffles mentioned before in Dragon Ball history, so it was really cool to see history like that come up. I thought it was really cool. And Baby's motivation, simple Dragon Ball motivation: you killed my race, well, Planet Vegeta killed my whole Tuffle race, so I'm now here to make a new planet and kill your race. And I hate the Saiyans because Saiyans did everything bad. So I thought that was really cool. I really liked Baby. And let's not talk that transformations, bro. The transformations, I really love the transformations. Baby Vegeta, yes, loved Baby Vegeta. I didn't really care for the gorilla form, but Baby Vegeta was a banger. I think I really liked this arc so much because we got to see one of probably my all-time favorite transformations in the series that is not canon, and I hate it so much. We got to see SSJ4 Super Saiyan 4 Goku for the first time ever. I'm going to save this because I'm going to talk about this and glaze it way more later on. But overall, I think that's really all I have to say for the Baby arc. Pretty gas. It's what really got me into GT, and honestly I was kind of scared of Baby as a kid. Like, I see why I was. Again, some crazy parasite and his voice, and I don't know, Baby like scared me as a child. Like, and that's like pretty rare, especially for like a Dragon Ball villain. Like, Baby was really put that fear in me. So not gonna lie, I'll give this one like a cool 8.5. They really ate with this arc, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, we're just gonna make this one sweet and short because it is some hot piece of shit. We have the villain revival. Basically what they tried to do is bring past villains back by opening up hell, and it was a good idea, a good concept, but just done super poorly. We got to see Cell be brought back, we got to see Frieza for the 10th billion time, and on the little broadcast you saw like Android 19 pop out. You also saw Cooler, which is pretty cool, honestly. But the main ringleader was Android 17, and he did this by using another version of him that was made by both Jiros. Yes, we see regular Dr. Jiro and his, I guess, kind of multiverse clone, whatever the fuck. So it was really strange, and then we saw two Android 17s fuse and become one, and I did like the grown 17 version, but his sucking ability, yes, that's what his sucking absorption ability was not the best. Overall, this was a pretty dog shit arc, I'm not gonna lie. It was like a couple episodes, good concept, but just done poorly, and they killed Piccolo for some reason. Bro just want the aura farm again and just die, and by saving a child. Again, he was saving a child, but still just classic Piccolo. Oh, I almost forgot to mention too. Yes, they did bring back the villains, but they nerfed them to all shit, so they were all useless. It was just a waste of episodes, honestly. That truly just felt like filler episodes. So again, if they had made them just as strong as they're like in their prime time, it would have been better. I don't know, it was more of a flex just for Goku to flex on them and show them, hey, I'm so much stronger than you, when in reality they were just so much weaker. So I'd give it like a solid 5. Again, good concept, could have gone about it way better, just rough approach. Alright, the last arc that we have to talk about is the Evil Dragons arc, I guess, or the Chaos Dragon Balls. I don't really know what this is called, but I'll call it the Evil Dragon arc. Basically, this is where we see they try to call on Shenron. Well, they collect all the Dragon Balls, they try to call on Shenron. They see all the Dragon Balls cracked. Shenron didn't come out, but this blue dragon came out. Forgot his name, my bad. But blue dragon came out, he's evil, and basically said, hey, you guys overused Dragon Balls, you gotta pay for your sins. So now you have to fight all the Shadow Dragons. Oh, sorry, I guess Shadow Dragon Ball arc, that's better. That sounds much better. So we have the Shadow Dragons. So now the same team, actually minus Trunks, it was Goku, Pan, and Giru traveled. Pan wasn't supposed to come, but I'm happy she came. I personally really like Pan. She was annoying in some bits, but I do really like Pan's character. So Goku, Pan, and Giru set out to fight all the 7 Shadow Dragons. And the Dragon Balls looked blue, they had a crack in them. And Goku basically asked them every time they fought, hey, what wish did you come from? Because each of the Dragon Balls each of the Shadow Dragons were created because of a certain wish that was made. So that was a really cool part of the story that was done. Some of the Shadow Dragons were cool, some were kind of lame, you know. It was, you know, up in there, but overall pretty cool and interesting concept. Pretty typical Dragon Ball stuff. Then we get to the end. When we think we're about to wrap it up, we have all of them. Now, the random comes from the shadows, and we have Sin Shenron. He comes forth, kills one of the shadow dragons, and he sucks up all the Dragon Balls, creating Omega Shenron. And we see this is the main villain of the end. Omega Shenron has now all the abilities of the past shadow dragons. So it was pretty cool. I like Omega Shenron's design. I didn't really care for his VA, but that's whatever. He was an interesting fight for sure. Another good part, we got to see Vegeta finally get Super Saiyan 4. He looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. He pulled up with Bulma. It was kind of interesting how he got his Super Saiyan. I'm not gonna say I hate it or I dislike it, but it was funny. I did really like the episode where he paid like a culmination to like the past and was trying to basically like sucking Goku off, just be like, oh, I'll never catch up to you, this, that, and the other, and he kind of got down. It was nice seeing him like think back on the past. We got to see the flashbacks and really think about his roots and being like, nah, I am that nigga. I'm gonna beat Kakarot. I'm gonna get to this strength, even though we all know he's never not going to. But it was nice to see like, hey, I don't want to stop being as strong as my rival. So that was a really good episode in my opinion. So it was really nice to see him hit Super Saiyan 4 with Goku. Obviously that was going to be expected. They were throwing hands. It was pretty awesome. And then we get one of the best fusions in the verse. I do not care. This is another fusion I will glaze, and a character that I love. This is honestly probably the second, if not top one reason why I really love GT. I really love GT because of the baby arc. But this right here, it is probably the main reason. Is SSJ4 Gogeta or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I already love Gogeta to begin with, but Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is insanely tough. Again, I'm gonna talk about this next because I just want to keep this to like the arc. I guess this can fit in there, but I'm gonna split it up still. We'll come back. Amazing fusion though, beautiful. I really dislike that we only got to see him for one episode though. Like, dude, what? We waited. I could have sworn we saw him for like at least 2 or 3 more. No, just one. That pissed me off. Overall, Omega Shenron, I didn't really care for him too much. I mean, he was a decent villain, I guess. When we saw him for a little bit, you think Goku's dead. He gets back up. Lend me your energy, and spirit bombs him to hell. So I was like, damn, okay, whatever. And then we get to the end of the arc, which is really, really beautiful. Honestly, really beautiful, but we'll touch on that separately again. But overall, the Shadow Dragon arc, honestly, really cool concept on, again, the overuse of the Dragon Balls and all the sins committed. It was a really cool arc. I really did like it. I don't think I liked Omega Shenron that much. I think that's the big issue, but there's a lot of cool things in the arc to make up for it. I'll probably give this a 7 as well. This kind of will conclude the pros and cons section. Technically, it kind of just gives my overview of what I thought of each arc. So I guess not really. It's okay. It's okay of a pros and cons section. Anyways, enough of that. We will now move on to the glaze session. All right. When I tell you I'm a sucker for transformations, I'm a sucker for transformations. Maybe that's because my simple caveman brain really likes Dragon Ball because of different transformations. One of my favorite transformations, I can make a whole video on this alone. I love Super Saiyan 3. It may not be the most practical or the strongest. I just love it aesthetically and the way he got there. I might touch on that, but that's different story. Super Saiyan 4, one of the coolest and most innovative of the verse. We have Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, where the hair just progressively got longer and people were just like, is it just gonna get even longer? But we have Super Saiyan 4, which is fucking insane. It is awesome. You see a little bit of, I guess, kind of monkey fur coat, whatever. The color scheme I find very interesting. The pink and the yellow kind of grew on me with Goku, and then Vegeta's just looks raw. They both just look super hard. I really love, I guess you would call it eye shadow, whatever, the kind of like makeup they have around their eyes or whatever, but it's not obviously makeup. It looks really cool, super well done. Stylistically, they really ate with that transformation. I wish it was canon, because it's one of the coolest ones, and most people don't appreciate it or know about it. And it sucks that it was only seen in this. I think something else. I have not seen what that something else is, but I think it's in like superheroes, something weird. But it just sucks because Super was so lame with the transformations with just blue and red. Yes, I still do like their transformations, but Super Saiyan 4 just had something of its own. Like, I do really like the Ultra Instinct, but Super Saiyan 4 was crazy. And just let me tell you, the fusion, when we saw the fusion, Vegeta pulled up, he's like, yo, Kakarot, we can't do this alone. We must fuse. Come on, bro. He doesn't even like fusion. And when they fused, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that nigga was beautiful. He was beautiful. That form was amazing. When I tell you he stunted on Omega Shenron, he stunted. He could literally not keep up. He was so strong. They had to vault him so fast, and that's why I'm pissed off, because he was so strong to the end of that fight. But it's like, it takes too much power, so let's end the fusion now. It's like, dude, just let him cook. Just let it cook. Like, why do we have to Spirit Bomb? Like, what are we doing? That fusion could have ended Omega Shenron. Light work. Bro was actually scared. Like, I love that fusion to the death of me. Like, I really love that fusion, and it sucks because I want to now play Sparking Zero. I actually want to try to get good at that game, and I wanted you guys to be like my main, but he's so broken, and it just kind of looks cheesy. So it's like, I don't know. I'll probably still play him a bit. There'll be like gameplay of that eventually, but that's why I really want to play it. But stylistically, I think they really did good with the Super Saiyan 4 look when it comes to Vegeta and Goku, and then Gogeta the fusion. I really like that they added the fusion. One of by far the best fusions ever, with style and strength. I really wish we saw that Gogeta more. I do like the other Gogetas we see, especially in the one movie with Janemba. Oh my god, that one cooked. That has everything I really love in it too. I'll probably be talking about that one as well. But overall, Super Saiyan 4, yes! I wish it was real. I wish it was canon. When I found out that it wasn't canon, I was devastated. I was heartbroken, because I will never see my goat, my beautiful goat, SSJ4. Not even just SSJ4. SSJ4 Gogeta. He's awesome. He's amazing. He looks sexy. Bro is tough. Amazing. Alright, delay session done. Let's wrap this up. Alright, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to my bullshit and my ranting about a series that usually doesn't get a lot of love, so I appreciate you. Finishing up my closing thoughts, the ending of Dragon Ball GT, I think, is what really kind of made it good for me. And I forgot how it ended as a kid, but since just recently rewatching and finishing it, I had to now go look on YouTube to look up ending explains, because I was actually stunned and just kind of sat there. So again, not to spoil too much, it obviously is just too old at this point that people probably don't even care about it, but not to spoil too much. Fight ends, all the Dragon Ball's good, Shenron pulls up, and he's like, hey, Goku, we gotta go. And we see just a montage of Goku visiting all his friends, the scene with Krillin. It was just awesome. It was a great glorification of all the moments we've had in Dragon Ball, and kind of a really good closing to a chapter that you thought was never going to get opened again, but luckily got opened with Super. But at the time, this was a finite end, and we never got a finite end with Dragon Ball, and it means a lot when an anime gets a finite end. When there was just basically the end, we just see Goku walking off, just see you next time, see you around, pal. That really hit like that. It made me sad, because I was like, damn, this was a good journey, bro. It's over. Even again, Dragon Ball may not be a perfect series, it may not be amazing, everyone may not love it, but that shit hurt, dog. It was like, damn, I just watched my best friend just walk away. I mean, the best friend just had to cut ties. It's like, all right, bro, see you when I see you. It's like when you leave the Xbox live party for that last time, you don't see your friend for 4 or 5 years. That's basically what happened when now we got Super. It was really, really sad. But again, I think a really good touch that made GT really stand out to me, one of my favorites, because of that finite ending, which does not happen very much in animes when they kind of edge you along. And even for being canon, for not being canon, it was still pretty good. And I really don't have too much to hate on GT. I overall really, really like GT. I would give it as a whole, even with being biased, a 7.5. Again, it does have its flaws, and it does have its really good points, and they did do good things, but that goes with all things. I think another one of my favorite parts about this is that Akira Toriyama, RIP the GOAT, rest in peace, his beautiful soul, He didn't really have anything to really do with this at all. I don't think he had any direction or say in this at all. I don't remember if he drew any of this or the studio was just on their own. Either way, it felt like a really genuine Dragon Ball experience, and it was overall a really good story and a good culmination of what Dragon Ball really is, and really brought us back to like the core of like our childhoods and what Dragon Ball is and what it has become. So even for a non-canon, I still think it plays an important role, and I highly suggest anyone to watch this and highly recommend it as well. And you just cannot go wrong with it. Yes, it may not be canon, whatever. I think it's just a good experience to watch overall. It truly felt like the friends we made along the way, not as a joke. It was just like a end of the era of the Z era, which felt good to end. So I highly recommend anyone to watch it, like I already previously said. This is just my thoughts and my appreciation for Dragon Ball GT. I will probably watch it again, who knows when down the line in the future, just to experience the same nostalgia. I will stand by this just because you hear bad things about something. Do not knock it until you now watch it. Just because people said bad things does not mean you should not watch it. So, potentially watch it if you want. Sorry. If not, it is what it is. I'm out. Not sure what's going to come next, but you'll see when you see. Thanks for watching.